Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode of Draft to Glory Goon Squad, and today our playoff journey begins yet again. Of course, last year we headed into the postseason as defending champions and lost in the first round to the Dallas Stars, a Dallas Stars team that didn't even make the postseason this time out. So I think that some of you were right in your assessment that we just caught Dallas at a very bad time before they kind of suffered the consequences of some rough cap management, a situation that we have had to dance around quite a bit as well. This season we did relatively well. Of course, this is kind of the last run for a lot of these players due to the likes of Nesterov, McNabb, and Sivan progressing. Now, we are good to leave them, or at least we should be good to leave them where they currently are without them complaining about morale, but heading into next season, they will more than likely start to complain. If we're wrong on that, I mean, history kind of backs up that that's what's going to happen. If we are wrong on that, however, simply enough, we make the changes because those guys are the future of this team. We know that we're taking on the Blackhawks in the first round, so let's take a look at what we are up against. All right, that's a little bit rough. Top line, 89 overall, Benjamin Glenn, former third overall pick with 96 offensive awareness. Centered by Christopher Aston, a former number 1 overall pick back in 2020, a power forward that we missed out on. We might be able to thank Christopher Aston and the Chicago Blackhawks for making some of those player type picks that we should have made. The whole bending the rules, it kind of started with him, didn't it? I think it did. And Evgeny Svechnikov at 35 years old is still on their top line. Well, I say on their top line, but of course, first round pick of the Red Wings. Second line, Benjamin Postma, former 8th overall selection, with Jody Curry and Christian Vesalainen, who's now 32 years old. Third line is Isaac Hainsey with Willie Beach, a former 12th overall selection, and Rod Turnbull, a former 22nd overall pick of the Islanders. Fourth line is Rory Georgievich, former 12th overall pick. My God, Chicago. They had a 16th overall pick in Tony Machias, and the undrafted Bobby Stokes rounds out the forward core. On defense, well, it's interesting. We have seen teams with better defensive pairings fail. We've seen teams with worse defensive pairings succeed. So it's tough to really judge how effective they'll be. But they have Noah Poti, who was a 6th round steal, with Francois Laflemme, former 20. Jesus, so many former first round picks. Second pairing is Edward Cunning, former Dallas Star, with Jorgen Seidenberg, a 7th round steal from Arizona, and Emily, the double E, Rasainen, Toronto pick, 6'6", with Timothy Liljegren of the Blackhawks, doing some stealing from Toronto, even though, of course, this was a fantasy draft. 89 overall, Alexei Datsuk, 5th round steal by Detroit, because, of course, Detroit found a steal named Datsuk. Bernard Latendresse is the backup of medium elite. Morgan Klimchuk, the healthy scratch. Do I feel any more confident at this moment after looking at their lineup? No, I really don't. So all there's left to do is begin the series. That's all there is left to do. Let's get this show on the road. The Goon Squad, we are back in the postseason. Can we at least manage to get out of the first round this time? For the sake of some of the long-time players of this team, I certainly hope so, because, again, this is going to be the last hurrah for some of them. First period of Game 1 here on home ice, and that's a strong start. Marty Dick with the opening goal. We outshot them 12-7. Second period, Jesus, it's 3-all at the end of 40. 2 goals for Turnbull. Kress and Sivan get them back, and then Svechnikov ties this game up at 3. Good Lord. I guess the one saving grace is we scored from some pretty bad angles, whereas they scored from some pretty decent and optimal spots. All right, third period. We're just going to hit the A button. Can we walk away with the victory in Game 1 despite blowing the lead twice? Oh my God, we're going to overtime. Marty Dick gets his second of the game. Aston ties it. We're going to overtime. Let's do this. Will it end quickly? Overtime in game 1. Who will walk away with the victory? We have blown the lead 3 times in this game. The power play chance for Chicago is unsuccessful, but Machias wins it for them anyway. 40 shots to 32. And a 5-4 victory for the Blackhawks. Marty Dick with a really strong effort, the 2 goals. But unfortunately, for the first time in a while, I'd say our defense and goaltending kind of let us down there. I say first time in a while, really since the last postseason. 5 goals against in game 1. We will sim through game 2 without making any changes. If we lose this one, though, we might have to tinker around with things a little bit. But let's see what happens. We need to at least take one of these games on home ice. First period of game number 2 is scoreless, 13 shots to 8 in our favor. Second period, and Evgeny Svechnikov gets the lone goal. That puts us into a pretty bad situation, I'll say. 24 shots to 17 in our favor. Can we find a way to get on the scoreboard in the third period? Let's find out, and yes, we can. Jay Graves with the goal with 6 minutes remaining in that period, 35 shots to 24. We are all tied up at 1, and for the second time in this series, we are going to overtime. Let's do this. We need this win. Power play chance for Chicago, and Aston gets the game winner. 2 straight losses in overtime on home ice to begin this series. Not ideal. I don't necessarily think you can blame the defense and the goaltending for that one, but so far it's either the offense has been firing or the defense and the goaltending have done all right. We haven't been clicking as a team, and that's cost us. We lose both games on the road or on home ice to start the series. That second line is struggling. The problem is I can't do the swap Horkoff for Marty Dick. The problem is, too, that second line has been great for us at certain points. But we have to make changes. And we're going with the youth movement on the second line. That third line will stay united, but they're losing ice time. We are going with Nestorov, McNabb, and Sivan as the second line. Wharton down to the fourth line with Gustafsson and Koski-Ranta. As far as the defense goes, to be honest, those pairings just in general have been struggling. Not really sure what we can look to change here. We know McDonough and Kress have been doing incredibly well. I don't really think there's anything we can do. I can't afford to upset Nestorov by dropping his ice time. So I'm just going to hope that offensively we're able to turn things around. Brodin. Oh, God, do we stick with Marcus Brodin for Game 3? I think that's a legitimate question. I didn't think I'd have to wonder about that. You know what, let me double check on defense here. You know what, I'm at least just to do something, just to change up something, the dynamic of that line. Let's change Nestorov and Likens, the sides that they're playing. Marcus Brodin had a great regular season, but for the second time in the postseason, those numbers are down. He's allowed 7 goals in 2 games. I think we have a Corey Crawford, Scott Darling situation on our hands here. Do I give Tom Brooks the chance just to get us on the board here? I think I do. I'm sorry. I want to stick with Marcus Brodin, but I have to go with the goaltender that I think gives us the best chance to win. And as of late, in the playoffs, that hasn't been Brodin. So we've made some lineup changes on both the offensive and defensive side of things, at least defensive, changing things up as far as what sides the players are on. The most important thing, the biggest thing of note, is that Brooks is between the pipes. Will that be a mistake, or can he lead us to victory? As I accidentally hit the A button, but the first period was scoreless regardless. 11 shots to 9 in their favor. Second period, and we have the opening goal. Cedric Horkoff gets us on the board. So far, 20 saves from Brooks. We have the 1-0 lead heading into the third period. We are going to just sim through it. Can we hold on to get the win? Yes, we can. What a game. 31 save shutout for the man of the hour, Tom Brooks. And we are on the board 2-1 in this series in favor of Chicago. Cedric Horkoff, the only goal of the game. And we are back in this series, and that gives me a tough choice for Game 4, but really I don't think it's that tough. Bottom line, Brooks starts now until he loses after that performance in Game 3. To say that was a risky call would be an understatement, but he answered the call with a 31 save shutout. Absolutely ridiculous. That was insane. All right, well, let's hope that there is a follow-up performance on the cards. It's Game 4 in Chicago. The home team has yet to win a game in the series, not to mention the Gulls could be eliminated right here. They were down 2-1 against a Tucson Roadrunners. I don't think they were eliminated, though, so we'll have a Game 5 for the Gulls. First period of Game 4, however, and it's another strong start. McNabb with his first playoff goal with 1:03 left in the first period. 21 shots to 7. A dominating performance there. And we get that first goal in what could be a crucial goal in those first 20 minutes. Second period, Roach made it 2-1. Aston was able to get a goal back with 29 seconds to go. 30 shots to 17. 2-1 on the board. Can we tie this series up? Or will we be facing overtime? Will we be facing an elimination game back home in Anaheim with game number 5? Cedric Horkoff puts a cap on this game. 41 shots to 27. 3-1 on the scoreboard. The home team has yet to win a game in this series. We are all tied up at after the opening 4 games, and Tom Brooks has he has delivered. To say he has risen to the occasion would be an understatement. 26 saves, a .962 save percentage, and again, he will stay between the pipes until he loses. 1 goal allowed in 2 games on the road in your first NHL playoff games. Ridiculous. What an effort from Brooks. 2 out of the 4 series are already over. The Blues have a 3-1 series lead. This is the only series that sees this kind of deficit. Again, Brooks will start. He absolutely will. However, we have a Game 5 to pay attention to with the Gulls. We have been waiting for that team to find some postseason success, and they've had some good opportunities to do so. It just hasn't happened as of yet. Hopefully, their season will continue. It's a home game against the Tucson Roadrunners. Let's follow along. Can they keep their season alive? First period, 2-1. At the end of the opening 20, Clefbaum scored. Roberts and Burnett get the goals back. Second period, or get the goal back, it's still 2-1 at the end of the opening 40. Third period, and the Gulls are moving on. Reefers with the insurance goal. And in 5 games, the San Diego Gulls move on. 28 save performance for LaPointe. 3 assist night for Anderson McDonald. And for the first time, and what I feel like is a very long time, if not the first time ever, the Gulls are on to round 2. But now our focus changes back to the main task at hand. Game 5. Again, the home team has yet to win in this series. We are going to look to change that fact. First period, and we get the first goal. Nolan Foote gives us the lead. We only put up 6 shots that period, but we did get the goal, so I'm feeling all right. Second period, I'm still feeling all right. We're now just about evened up in shots. Still 1-0 on the board. Can we hold on in the third period? No, we can't. Oh, no. It was looking so good, too. Christian Vesalainen tied it, and then with 1:16 to go, Machias with the goal. And we trail in this series yet again. Datsuk, first star of the game. Great game for him. Brooks, solid effort. But unfortunately, the offense just wasn't quite there. I don't understand why Nesterov's complaining about ice time now that he's up on the second line. That's kind of stupid, unless he's a first-line guy now. The Gulls will be playing the Stockton Heat in the second round. But the Ducks are facing an elimination scenario here against the Blackhawks back in Chicago. It's Game 6. Why is Nesterov complaining? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, unless he's complaining about a lack of power play time, in which case I guess I can understand that. Let me go best lines quickly. And now I'm going to swap that back around. It's funny that it puts Kaufman on the fourth line, but there we go. Maybe that changed things up at the power play. Doesn't look like it. Whatever, though. Maybe it would have made some changes. The big question here is who gets this game in Game 6. Tom Brooks has been spectacular. A .964 save percentage in his 3 appearances. However, it's an elimination game, and we have one of the best goaltenders we have ever had, I would say, in one of my series. You look at what Marcus Brodin's done. Maybe it is, we haven't given enough credit to the defense, particularly the top 4. We've had a very solid defense core, and obviously Frederick McDonough, now 30 years old, which is insane. I mean, you see his defensive category, his physical category, his skating. It's no real surprise that Brodin's been able to put up these numbers. And when you talk about needing a goaltender in a must-win game on the road, I don't know if there's ever been a better goalie. Maybe a Harold Van Kadishin, maybe a Thatcher Demko way back in Vancouver for NHL 16. But if there was any goalie I could have in this game for this situation, it would probably be Marcus Brodin. So he gets the start in Game 6. The season is on the line. We have to deliver. First period is scoreless. We only put up 5 shots. That is obviously quite concerning. Second period, and Turnbull has the lone goal of the game, 22 shots to 17. And we are 20 minutes away from yet another first round exit. But I don't want to think like that. We have 20 minutes to turn this around. The season isn't over yet. The Ducks, the Goon Squad, are not done yet, but it might be close. We might be on life support. Glenn with the goal. Datsuk looking stable. And for the second straight year, the Goon Squad is out in round 1, despite a very strong regular season. I don't know how to feel about that. Eliminated in 6 games by the Blackhawks. We know, not necessarily due to the cap situation, but due to certain player progression, we know that this team is going to be changing heading into next year, and it's just, you would have thought this was the team that could have made the run. I'm just, oh man, that really sucks. Like, that really sucks. Nolan Foote didn't do enough. Graves didn't do enough. Marty did all right. Bottom line is, offensively, we couldn't really get it done. Datsuk and that defense, they were able to shut us down. That's what it comes down to. Brodin had a strong game in Game 6. Obviously, Brooks was there. I don't think it came down to the goaltending. It just came down to our lack of offense, which is something that we've struggled with quite a bit, especially when you consider, even if we drafted someone as a sniper, if we have him as a power forward, you can kind of tell that does affect the play style. And as a result, we've had some spells of just no offense in the past, and that seemed to have been the issue yet again. Oh, man. So there you have it. We are out in the first round. I don't really know what more there is to say or to check. Maybe just to check Datsuk's save percentage. It's really the only thing that I'm intrigued by right now. Maybe just double check over the contract situation yet again, but I'm pretty sure we're good. At the very least, we can follow along with the Gulls, but yeah, a .948 save percentage for Alexei Datsuk. And bottom line is, top line for them delivered. They had 3 goals from Turnbull on the third line. Their offense showed up. Ours really didn't. And that is why we have gone home early yet again. Let's take one more look. I mean, that's going to be Seth Finley's last game in a Ducks uniform. Polasek will be signed, but yeah, that's it for Finley. We know he's going unless he starts to ask for a lot less money. And that's just going to be one of the many changes. And it's incredibly disappointing because you have to wonder, how many more chances are we going to get as so many members of the core start to age? These are those kind of prime years. Now, we did get 1 cup win, which is honestly more than I thought we'd get. Even with, midway through the series kind of making that, okay, maybe I can pick one guy sometimes. I haven't always done that. Even with that, I wasn't sure if we would be able to accomplish what we did. The problem is now I just don't know if we'll be able to accomplish it again. As we'll follow along with the Gulls here, they have a 2-1 series lead at the end of the first 3 games. We'll sim the next 2. And they have a 3-2 lead heading into Game 6 on the road in Stockton. And it's a Game 7 for the Gulls in the second round. Another full series. Of course, they went to 5 in the first round. They've gone now to 7 here in the second round against Stockton. First period, Wilkinson, the rookie, gets the lone goal. Second period, Tuparainen tied it. Anderson McDonald, the veteran, with the goal. Third period, and the San Diego Gulls have survived again. LaPointe and McDonald, 2 NHL veterans now at the AHL level, help get this team over the line. They are going to the Western Conference Final. And here's the thing. I haven't made any lineup changes. I haven't sent down anybody that might be able to help the lineup in some way. Maybe I should. I don't know. But I don't want to risk morale issues with anybody. So we're going to keep that team the same. They're playing the Chicago Wolves in the Western Conference Final. And they're down 2-1 after the first 3. Game 4 needs to be a win. And it's not. It's an overtime loss. Game 5, will the season come to an end? Yes, it will. So, a fairly disappointing episode, I got to admit. At least so far, we have a chance to turn it around with the draft. But a first-round exit for the Ducks and a third-round exit for the Gulls. Although, from what I'm remembering, again, it's 2032. I got a lot of seasons I got to try to remember. I think that's the furthest the Gulls have ever made it. So, the Washington Capitals have won the Cup. The Hartford Wolfpack take the Calder Cup, so at least the Chicago Wolves didn't go on to win. Actually, then again, some people are like, oh, at least the team that beat us didn't win. But then the other side of the coin, some people go and say, oh, I wish I lost to the Calder winner because then, at least I know I lost to the best team. Let me know, how do you feel on that situation? Would you have preferred the Chicago Wolves to win because that would have validated that we lost to the best team? Or is it better that they lost in the final because screw them, they beat us? Let me know how you feel on that. Sevon and McNabb improved this season. That was pretty much it as far as natural growth. Down in the AHL, Afanasenkov slowly getting better. He'll be at the NHL level next year, I'd imagine. Alos improved. Pandolfo. Lahunen. Norena went up 6 points, by the way. The high starter potential goalie. The 5-point improvement for Tulipov and Sanderson. The fairly ridiculous 7-point improvement for Polasek. Not bad. Like, if we were to select him now, that'd still be pretty decent, but medium top 6, 20 years old, only a 64. We'll see. Wilkinson made it up to a 60. Shane went up by 2. Ennis went up by 6. 3 points for Lindholm. And that is that. So ends another season. And now we'll look over the awards, but now it's time to already start to focus on the task at hand, and that is getting prepared for next season. Chicago lost in the next round to Calgary in 7. Calgary then lost to Colorado in 7, and then Colorado lost to Washington in 7. So an interesting road there to the final. Taking a look, Washington back-to-back Stanley Cups. Fairly ridiculous. They also won the President's Trophy this year. Notice that Chicago, though, won the President's last year, so a sign of how good they are. Rantanen wins the Art Ross. Brodin won the Hart in St. Louis. Monador, the Norse, for the second straight year for Toronto. Andrew Chuck, the Lady Byng. Calder goes to Von Fersen. I imagine that's the same Andrew Chuck that just won the Lady Byng, by the way. Thatcher Demko wins the Conn Smythe for the second straight year. It's been goalies now in the last 4 seasons. That Brodin guy won the Vezina, so there's 2 Brodins out there. Marcus Brodin, though, takes home the Jennings. Selke goes to Fernandez. Brodin. Andrew Chuck won the Rocket Richard. Down in the AHL, did we at least get any kind of pity hardware? No, we did not. Man, I just don't know how to feel after that, guys and gals. Oh, it's so disappointing. I mean, I know I took the risk with Brooks. I still don't feel like I made the wrong call putting... Like, as far as goaltending goes, I feel like I made the right choices. It's just, offensively, maybe I should have shaken things up a little bit differently. Maybe I should have broken up the third line, the second line that became the third line. Maybe I should have switched those players around, particularly after Game 5. But that's all hindsight now. Too little too late as Toronto gets the number 1 pick via San Jose. Of course, we do have some extra picks in this draft, of course, as we look to actually get some fair value back for some of our players. We're also going to have an extra 7th or 2, maybe 3, over the next 2 seasons as I got rid of a lot of the guys that we missed out on. So last year in the draft, we did have a lot of extra picks that I didn't do anything with, and I had to recycle those. I mean, guys that we picked in like the 4th and 5th round, had to package all them together for a 7th. I need to hit. Now, arguably more than ever, this is crucial. Like I mentioned, that window is going to start closing. I need to hit with these draft picks because we need to get the next group of people ready to go for when the McDonoughs and the Nolan Foots and the Jay Graves and the Marcus Brodins are gone. It's going to happen. We have Marty Dick, but, Kress is only 25. But you look at so many of these players here, Roberts, McDonald, Foots. I mean, you look at the guys here that are, late 20s, early 30s. It's going to be a problem sooner rather than later. Now, we don't have an extra first-round pick this year. We do have 3 seconds, 3 thirds, a 4th, 2 fifths, a 6th, and 2 7th-round picks. So we have a chance to do some damage in the second round. Of course, I didn't get back as much value as I could have. We did what we did in the original series, of course, where we did the best 1-for-1 trade. If we have to get rid of somebody with value, Jesus Christ, Toronto gets a franchise-level player because of a trade. Of course, we did the best 1-for-1, the most valued pick we can get back if we're trying to get rid of somebody who actually has some value instead of like those players I missed out on to get the extra 7s, as you guys get a look here at who has been selected lately. We have the 26th overall pick of this draft. What can we do with it? We have a 2-way there in Eddie I'm not worried about. Georgievich, I mean, is his overall decent? 66 defensive awareness? No, he's not going to be good enough. Not a chance. We do have the starter goalie in Kuparainen. I'm a little bit worried about some of those attributes, but he might be the go-to pick just to make it. I mean, unless I wanted to go like Calder. I mean, I know he's 2-way, but I mean, I don't think we really have a safe pick there. I think for this first-round pick, we just have to go with Kuparainen, with him being the best player available. We got Sven Shugerin that we know nothing about. Kazanov, maybe. Let me sort by potential at least. See if we have any steals here late on. We do have the 2-way exact elite in the 6th round. He's going to be good too. Ish. I might break the, I might bend the rule there for Beck, if not outright break it. We have Nolan. Yeah, see, there's nobody better to pick right now than Kuparainen. At least if we want a guarantee. So while we don't have the extreme need for a goaltender, the Finn, Mikko Kuparainen, is my selection. He's only at 57. I was hoping he'd at least be in the 60s. We'll see if there was a better pick on the board there. Ponikarovsky has a 2-way, but that's not something I really wanted to consider. I'm going to try to stick to the OG rules. Dadonov. It's always a Dadonov, isn't it? It always is. Medium elite. Georgievich, yeah, was pretty bad. So We didn't even take the best goalie available. So that right there is an L. It's a decent pick, but seeing who was picked in the aftermath, that is an L. We need to deliver here with this pick. We have the power forward in Joel Lee. Jolie. I got a great voice, I know. You got Joseph Beck, who is certainly the safe pick. Ah, boy. Well, put it this way. I know if I pick this guy, some people aren't going to be happy. I know that. But let's be honest, it's the right pick to make. We'll mark him for the moment. Let me see who else is there. I might have to go with Joel Lee just for the name and intentionally miss out on Beck. We have another hybrid goalie. We have Rammer, 77 stick checking, but Chad Rammer, great name. Chris Frazee, no real safe bet there. We have the power forward of Brett Madano that we know nothing about. And then we got Will Pecker. Right. It's gotta be Joel Lee. Joel Lee from the Red Deer Rebels is my pick. Yeah, low top 6, 56 overall. Not tremendous. Calder was medium elite, and Dreyoff was medium top 4. Two ways, though. Players that I wasn't really considering picking anyway. Alright, okay. Well, I'm not going to pick Beck. I'm not going to do it. We got Kozanov. We have Rammer, Frazee, Madano, Pecker as well, but we don't know how good he's actually going to be. Hensick, his overall is not going to be good enough to make it worth it. Emmanuel Damphus, still not quite what we want, and then we get into the third round. So at this point in time, it's just best guess. That's really all it is best guess. So I'm not going to go for the goaltender. Low 6 as he's being recognized. High top 6, medium top 9, not scouted once. I'm going to go for Madano here, and then we'll try to get Rammer or Frazee with one of the last picks. So Brett Madano, the Norwegian power forward, is hot garbage. Hot garbage. God damn, and it's going to be made worse because we know one of those two defensemen are going to be great. It's not going to be Rammer at high 7th. Beck was low elite, 62. Let's see, anybody else here that I was really considering picking? Zetterberg would have been decent. Frazee, actually neither. Wow, no one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the hell just happened? Oh my god. What just happened? I'm trying to remember I'm trying so desperately to remember what he looked like on the draft board. Was he not the low? He was the low top 6. He was the low top 6. Defenseman, Kozanov. I didn't have any information on him, really. It was between him and Madano. If I was taking a defenseman, I was probably going to take him as opposed to the high 6th, just because of the complete unknown factor, and I went with Madano. Oh my god. Holy hell. Well, Jesus, guys, the past few episodes for me, it's just been one kick to the teeth after another. I mean, we have Pecker here, and we have Damphus. We might as well draft Pecker just for the lulz in the name, right? And his name's Will Pecker. Let's draft him and see what happens. I feel a little bit better now. I don't feel tremendous. Also, yes, I know, 69, and his name's Pecker. Haha. I don't. Oh my god! Wow, that makes the that's a little bit better, right? Like it's not a Band-Aid on a bullet wound, but it's a Band-Aid on, like, sometimes when it's like a dog just really kind of gets you Like you're playing tug of war with a dog and they just really kind of get you. You put like a little Band-Aid over it. It still stings and hurts like a bitch, but at least the Band-Aid's there as a visual to kind of make it feel like, well, maybe it's not that bad. It still sucks. Thanks, Philly. That's 2 things now in a matter of a week that you've torn away from me and broken my heart with. Appreciate it. Oh, God. All right. Well, let's not focus on what could have been. Let's focus on what is, and we have Will Pecker. 19 years old, medium elite, 69 overall. The best pick of this draft by far. So that is at least one bright point. I don't care who we missed out on. Oh, my Jesus. God, never mind. Dumb foos. Oh, God damn it. Clearly, I took the wrong forward with Madonna, didn't I? Jesus. You know what? I'm glad I checked. Screw it. I should know that I messed up. And I did. I should have taken the damn guy that Philly took, and I should have taken that guy. And I took the wrong people 2 out of 3 times. Shit. Or 2, half the time. The medium elite Pecker that we ended up with is hilarious. But anyway, back to the task at hand. We have the defensive D-man. We have the grinder, another defensive D-man. Yes, I know Nolan's there, but I don't really trust that. And we get into the 3rd to 4th round. So who do I have marked right now? Is it 2 defensive D and a grinder? I think it was. Yes. Okay, so we have Lars Nordqvist, 6'5", 19-year-old Swedish defenseman. We have Ian Cashman, the grinder. Of course, no stats. My God, man, this game hasn't been helping me out too much here in terms of scouting. And then we have Colton Ben Dahan. Well, we know his strength and his aggressiveness. He's going to have a low overall. So it's Cashman or Nordqvist. I'm going to take Cashman. I'm just going to hope that he's at least a medium top 9. And even better, he was a medium top 6, 60 overall, 19 years old. That's not bad. A similar situation to what we have with the other grinder that I pointed out, who was also medium top 6 already on our team. Yes, Nolan was medium starter, so quite a few goalies selected at this point here in the 3rd round. We need one more steal, especially with these extra picks. We need one more steal, and we have the choice between Nordqvist and Ben Dahan. And because I have a little bit of info on Ben Dahan, but not Lars Nordqvist, we're going for the Swede. Medium top 660 overall at 19. Had I selected him next year, he would have been about a 65. He would have been one of those bang average picks. So, yeah, I'm not feeling too great about that. But I don't really know if we had any better alternatives. As we'll get to look here at the 3rd to 4th round projected. There's only one left, that being George Jung. All right, well, we'll at least mark him. Defensive D-man, we have Scott. We have McKinley, Cook, and we'll stop there before we mark Stafford. So let's take a look again at the list of pinned players. The pressure is on. I need one more, at least one more big-time player or a lot of really solid picks. So we have Joseph Scott, who we know is not going to be that great. So we'll back out of that, unless the potential ends up being tremendous. Same thing for McKinley. Jung, we don't really have any info on it. 17 years old. The last 17-year-old we drafted was shit. And then we have Bill Cook. I mean, the shot blocking, we'll see, right? Defensive category. I don't think he's going to be that good. At least there's no major indications that I have that are, will let me know as to whether or not he's going to be good. I don't like any of those players. I don't like any of those players. One of them will probably be great because that's how my luck goes. But I'm going to play it safe here and double check. So we have Stafford, Lapalainen, Mathers, Lackey. I don't think I've missed anybody. And that's that. So let's take a look at this round of players here, going a little bit off the board, just trying to find somebody. That pressure is there. Todd Stafford, 19 years old. We don't really know enough about him. Lapalainen, 19 years old as well. Don't really have any info on him. Mathers, again, don't really have any info on him. And Lackey, don't have any info on him. Going to go for the American. I'm going to trust the low league interest. We're going with Lackey. Shit. All right, well, that's one of those bang average picks. It's certainly better than who Vegas just took. It's a decent pick, someone who might make it to the AHL side of things, but it's not really somebody that's going to be a major factor here. There's a couple of decent players that have been drafted. Stafford was a 64, so there's that. Who else have we had? Again, someone like Westcott being a decent player, I don't really care. I only want to look for the players we missed out on. Cook, it would have been a much worse pick than who we ended up with. Scott was also quite bad. McKinley and Jung also quite bad. So, all things considered, I'd say we did pretty damn well for who was available to us there. And there's still two. And I'm going to go to Lapalainen now without even double checking. And shit. Oh, well, I certainly picked the right guy at the time. Lapalainen didn't quite work out. I don't even care to know who I missed out on that occasion. Let's just get back to it. Take a look at some more players here. We have here in the 5th to 6th round, we have Zubov, Hamel, and Enforcer, another defensive D-man, and another defensive D-man in Vandenbush. Good old Vandenbush. Let's take a look here. Zubov, 18 years old, no league interest, no real stats. We do know that physical category should be bad, but that lies. Where it's like, oh, physical, it's highly accurate. That it's going to be 1.5 star. That loves to lie. Even when it's exact, it loves to lie. Rene Hamel, nothing about him. We have the Enforcer and Kelly Strom, 20 years old. I don't really like that his physical category is projected to be that low. We have Daryl Torres, who we just know nothing about. And Brent Vandenbush, who we really know nothing about. No league interest, though. You might hate me for not going for the Enforcer. I'm going to risk it with Vandenbush. And son of a bitch, my draft luck is gone. Strom would have at least been half decent. It's not like he was game-changing. Torres would have been decent. Yeah, there were better picks to make there. My draft luck is just gone in the series. I mean, thank God there was some draft luck in general. But especially, too, at this point in time, we can go Hamel. We can go Ponikarovsky. 19 years old. Maybe. Let's take Hamel off the list. We have this Grinder and Rodney Sumal. He might work out. Another Grinder here in Mario Supre. At least has high league interest. Might be worth going with him instead of the no league interest. Morgan Sestito, 19 years old, defensive D. Whitmore, 19-year-old power forward. Another Grinder and Hedstrom. The power forward and Evan Orpik. It's just all shot in the dark. We have that Enforcer and Ferraro, who we know isn't going to be that great. I don't know. I just have to guess and hope I get lucky. I'm not going to go with Supre because the odds he's great, very slim. I'm going to go for a power forward or a defensive D-man. We got to look for the home run. So we have Whitmore or Orpik. I'm going to go for Orpik because why not? Not bad. Low elite, 53 overall, though. That's someone who could jump up to the 70s by the time he's a 20-year-old. We'll see. It's not bad, though. That's not the home run of a pick that I needed. You could argue he was a better pick than Whitmore, though. It's not exactly the home run that I needed, but it softens the blow a little bit. Slightly. And now we're in the 7th round. Do I have any steals here guaranteed? Because that would be great. Exact top 9 Grinder. 20 years old. Daryl Baumgartner. 86 checking. 70 face-offs. I'm going to go for Baumgartner and just hope he's a 65 plus. 65. Oh, there you go. Right on the money. That's a bang average pick. Took the risk. Didn't quite work out. I think we had, 2 7th round picks in this draft. So, here we go. Our final chances to really kind of turn this around. It hasn't been completely awful, but it's been pretty bad. McTaggart. We just don't know enough about him. 78 stick checking. Oh, God. Why do I feel? I have a feeling if I pass on him, his overall or his potential is going to be great. If I take him, he's going to be the drizzling shits. So I don't. Oh, God, the pressure's there. We need to deliver here. Nothing but goalies right now. Let's take a look at this Sigalet guy. Obviously, we know he's not worth taking. Osgood, not worth taking. That overall is going to be way too low. I mean, you never know if the potential is going to magically jump up, but that overall is way too low. Anybody else here who doesn't have an exact potential? Martin? No, not worth it. A bunch of exacts. Anybody else here? Bjugstad? Nope. Anybody else, please? I'm begging you. I need something here. Let's look at this dude. Nope. How much time? Minute and a half? And now we're at the point. 3 times scouted where it's not really going to matter. All right, well, let's just risk it. McTaggart, I don't think he's going to be very good. I was kind of right. Bang average, to be honest, I thought we were going to be looking at medium bottom 6 at best. So another bang average pick. We have one more selection in this draft. The odds of us finding that true steal, basically nil. The past 2 seasons have been incredibly disappointing. Just incredibly disappointing with the playoffs and how they've gone, combined with the drafts. It hasn't gone the way we've needed it to. And we're going to go for either Willis or Laschik. Willis, we at least know the shooting accuracy is pretty rough. Lasik. Regardless, he's the pick. Let's go for the Slovakian, and damn it. Overall, certainly not as good of a draft as it could have been. I think that's putting it lightly. I think that's being nice about the situation, really. And I hate to say it, but we're not really heading into the offseason with the crazy amount of confidence as I would have preferred. It is a fairly rough situation that we currently find ourselves in, at least in terms of prospects in the pipeline. I mean, goaltending, we're okay. We still have Brooks. Arena's doing all right. We do have to sign Tulipov, which isn't an issue. We'll leave Norena and Kuparainen. Norena unsigned for 1 more season, Kuparainen for 2 more. With Tulipov being signed, he's either going to be traded or Justice or LaPointe will be on their way out. Defensively, one last effort, Finley. Are you willing to cooperate? I mean, we have $7 million in cap space, and I might actually be able to get that to work and then trade him. But I got to be honest, signing him to that deal and then trying to trade him, probably not going to happen, especially without retaining cap. So I'm sorry, but Seth Finley, you got to go. This deal just doesn't make sense for me. You have been here for quite a while. You've played 5 seasons in the NHL. But your time here is done. We're going to let you go, unfortunately. Right wings, we know we need to sign Polasek. So let's do that. We don't have to worry about anyone else. Left wings, we're looking okay. And centers, we're also looking all right. The big question, of course, as we move towards this next season is whether or not certain players progress. We know that we're going to have to make changes as it is. If the morale system wasn't on, it'd be a slightly different situation. But we do have some forwards that are going to have to go to make room for these younger players who are ready to take a role in the top 6. Either that or we trade the younger players, which probably isn't the best idea. So that's it for this episode. I think we will go to the preseason. We might try to get this team set up now. That might be the best way to handle it. We'll see. Of course, we can just sim right to it. It depends. Once I get a look at the situation we find ourselves in, I might just wait until the next episode. But I feel like considering, we had the first round of the postseason, and we've already gone through the draft, I feel like we've made some pretty good time for this episode. I feel like we've been able to progress in a somewhat timely manner. Well, slightly. Of course, I wish that said we hadn't even gotten to the draft yet, because I wish we had won a cup, but can't always get what you want, can you? Kenya, a country in Africa. I needed to say something as stupid as I could, even though it's factual, just to disguise the fact that I needed to take a sip of a delicious beverage that won't be named. You guys know it. I've mentioned my love for it, but considering they unfollowed me on Twitter, no more free plugs. No more free plugs. No more free advertisement. I'm just trying to bide time. Just trying to bide time here for this to work out, for us to get to where we need to be. Please. Please, EA. Hurry up with the sim. I need something. I need some good news. Thank you. I need some good news here to kind of help me get through this. So, let's take a look. First step is to go to proposed trade so we can get a look at the entire franchise. So, goaltending. Narena's up to a 72. Narena might really benefit from playing in the AHL this year. Big time. Tulipov as well. I mean, I think we have to make changes to our backup goaltending. I think Lapointe and Justice have to go. I mean, Brooks, I think he won that spot last year. Lapointe did really well at the AHL level. He did well at the NHL level in the past. He did really well at the NHL level as a backup. Oh my God, Lapointe was tremendous for us. Outside of his first 2 seasons, from that point on, when he started getting a few more games, he was looking really good. We need to make that decision as far as who gets the starting job, because Narena needs to be signed and he needs to play in the AHL, the 1-2 punch with Tulipov. That needs to happen. So let me know, Brooks or Lapointe, who stays as the backup goaltender. We'll make that decision. As far as the defense goes, let's see. I think we might be okay. We're okay. So it'll be McDonough, Kress, Likens, Nestorov, Afanasenkov, and Cullimore. So Afanasenkov will simply take Finley's spot. And then from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pecker needs to be signed, and 6 for McCann. See, we got an extra 2. Well, actually, I don't even have to sign those guys. So let me just double check this here. So again, we have our 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're fine. So we'll sign Pecker. And then more than likely, like, I could move out Burnett, Carter, and Grossman. But what's the point when guys like Lackey, Nordquist, like that's going to be their ceiling. So I think we're fine. I think it's just a matter of signing Pecker. We could maybe trade McCann to make a spot there for Lindholm if we wanted to give him that spot, but I don't have to sign Lindholm yet. So I think guys like Lackey, Nordquist, Lapalainen, Lasek, and Vandenbush will be traded out. And you know what? I'm already comfortable in doing that. So again, if I look at my defense, we have our first 6 there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's perfect. And then we'll leave Lindholm as the only unsigned player. So let's take a look here. Arizona, we've done a lot of business lately. How would you like to do more? Apparently you wouldn't. Boston, nope. Buffalo, I mean, then again, I'm doing this for a 7th. That's the deal, is to get rid of the garbage for a 7th. So there we go. All those missed picks out to Buffalo, the sign of our failure, where we had 5 draft picks at the very least on defense, and we couldn't do anything with it. We have 1 chance for redemption in the form of a 7th. It just kind of keeps the cycle going unless we magically get a steal, but that's kind of our punishment. I mean, we could just have them sit there and then release them. That's the alternative, but we kind of decided long ago that it's best to at least give myself a chance to get something back. As we take a look here, you know what, I think the NHL lineups, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to sort out. So the question I'll leave to you as we end this episode, who stays, who goes? Brooks and Lapointe both have been extremely effective as our backup in previous seasons. In the next episode, I'll kind of sort out everything we got to do forward-wise. We know the defense is pretty much good to go, but without a doubt, some players are going to be on the way out. As you can see here, if you just look at the roles alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Somebody in that top 6 has got to go. We only have room for 6 of you. And then not to mention, with the third line forwards, somebody has to go. Anderson McDonald actually rebounded pretty well, but between Wharton, McDonald, Koski, Ranta, and Horkoff, somebody has got to go. And it'll be between McDonald, Koski, Ranta, and Horkoff. I'd say Koski, Ranta's probably screwed if we wanted to keep the veteran and Anderson McDonald around. And then on the fourth line, we're actually okay. Gustafson, Reefers, and Green. So I'm thinking Koski, Ranta goes. It's Koski, Ranta, or McDonald on the third line that gets traded. And then the top 6 player, I don't know. Do we get rid of Kaufman and his $5 million cap hit to have the Nesterov, McNabb? Actually, what am I thinking here? 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm wrong. We got to get rid of 2 of them. I can't count. I've learned that. I can't count. So 2 of these guys here from Kaufman up have to go. Boy, I can't imagine how many people are making fun of me for that. It's been a fine day, let me tell you. A fine day. I'm not sure who stays and who goes. That's a really tough decision. One that we will make at a later time. Roach is actually a first-line player. Yeah, okay, that blows my mind. We have decisions to make clearly. I want to give you guys a chance to voice your input as far as what you think we should do. That'll do it for this episode. I thank you for watching. As always, like I said, leave your feedback down in the comments below. What do you think we have to do, aside from me drafting better, to get back to where we want to be? I thank you always for your support. As always, for your support with this series. You know what you can do to support the video on the channel if you haven't already done so. Links are in the description to my Twitter and Twitch. Have a great one. Not just a good one. Have a great one. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.